Good afternoon. Today we will study about the subordinating conjunction that has the trait as a pronoun or a determiner and a subordinate clause as a description, linked by the subordinating conjunction to the main clause. 5 subordinating conjunctions are listed. Who, whom, which, that, and whose. Before we start to study about the definition of the subordinating conjunction that has the trait as a pronoun or a determiner to link the subordinate clause as a description, I prepared the presentations with revealing my religional orientation as a Christian. I want to say the reason. When I record the videos, today I will talk a lot as well. And then when I say the sacred name, Jesus Christ, I can't breathe in well. I want to apologize before I start this class. Let's start from the definition. The speaker applies a pronoun or a determiner as a subordinating conjunction to link the subordinate clause to the main clause, which indicates the same subject or object as the precedent in the main clause. The subordinating conjunction that has the trait as a pronoun or a determiner indicates the same subject or object as the precedent in the main clause. So we can understand the term precedent reveals the role of the precedent to precede the subordinate clause. The precedent is stated ahead of the subordinate clause. We can understand the origin of the term precedent. The pronoun or determiner indicated by the same subject or object as the precedent is described by the experience, condition, or action in the subordinate clause. The speaker indicates the same subject or object as the precedent in the subordinate clause because in the subordinate clause, the description about the subject or object can reveal the intention of the speaker in the detailed way. The role of the subordinating conjunction to link the subordinate clause as a description is this. The speaker indicates the subject or object described by the experience, condition, or action in the subordinate clause with the pronoun or determiner to indicate the same subject or object as the precedent. The speaker indicates the subject or object with the precedent ahead of the subordinate clause because the subject or object to be described in the subordinate clause is distinguishable enough to be indicated by the noun or pronoun from the participant in the conversation with the speaker. The subordinating conjunction, either as a pronoun or determiner, is applied as a subject or an object in the subordinate clause. We can think of the reason why the speaker does not state the precedent twice. Because the subordinating conjunction is the same subject or object as the precedent in the main clause is described in the subordinate clause. So the speaker can state the same indication of the precedent twice. Then the listeners can understand the linkage between the subordinate clause and the main clause without the indirect indication by a pronoun or a determiner. The reason why the speaker replaces the precedent into a pronoun or a determiner is to reveal the role of the indicated subject or object in the subordinate clause. This means that the subordinating conjunction reveals the role as a subject or an object in the subordinate clause. The listeners can expect to be described the precedent with the prior information about the role in the subordinate clause. So the participant in the conversation with the speaker can understand the role of in the subordinate clause, either as a subject or an object. Then we can understand that the subordinating conjunction reveals the information about the role of the subject or object in the subordinate clause. The subordinating conjunction is accorded with the precedent to indicate a person or a subject or an object that is not a person. The number of the precedent also one of the standards to the subordinating conjunction. Let's start to study about the standard to determine the subordinating conjunction accorded with the precedent. Before we start to study about the sort of the subordinating conjunction that links the subordinate clause as a description. The speaker determines the sort of the subordinating conjunction consistent with the standard, whether the precedent is a person or not, and the number of the precedent. The role of the subordinating conjunction who that has the trait as the pronoun in the subordinate clause determines the form of the pronoun as a subject or the other form of the pronoun whom as an object. The speaker who wants to emphasize that an object as a person the speaker changes the form of the pronoun who into whom to indicate the object in the subordinate clause.